Topic of this video will be more about what you can do blogging. Before we get into that, I just want to make you realize that there's a lot of resources beyond the videos that I'm going to make on WordPress. In fact, you received an email from them most likely that looks something like this, and there's a lot of great resources here. One funny thing, notice it says start with this brief video about building your website, and unfortunately when I clicked that I didn't see a video, but still the information that came up is really good. And some of these individual topics do have videos. So by the time you're watching this video, if things look really different here and you're getting frustrated, you may want to just pause and watch one of their videos, and you might like that better, and just come back to my video to make sure that you're following the steps that you need to for the class. I also want to talk about how there can be differences between what the world sees and what you see on your site. So when you just go to your site and look at it, you may see a little button down at the bottom, or at least the words edit. Just know that the world won't be seeing that, and it probably has to do with the fact that you're still logged into your site. So let's start by logging in, and I'll point out some of those slight differences. And remember, all you had to do is just click up here in the address box, add a / in admin, and then you should get prompted to log into your site. And that's where it's very handy to write this kind of information down, your username and your password, because especially once you get to the point where you have multiple sites, it gets kind of hard to remember all that stuff. Now, it's obvious that this is not what the world is going to see, but if I go back and log into, or just go to the regular site now, so get rid of this admin. One way of doing that, you probably see the edit down here now. So that's a good way to know, oops, I'm accidentally still logged into my site, and then you just simply go back to the admin or the dashboard. There's a couple different names for basically the same thing here, which is the area that lets you do work. And then remember to log out. You usually click on this little icon up here, and then you'll see log out. But I'm not going to do that right now, since we want to do some stuff here, namely blogging. Most likely you were given an assignment to do for the class that included probably all of these things, and so this is just kind of a good table of contents to see what we're going to be covering. So first things first, let's make a new post. So we want to be at that admin page. So how do we get back there from here? If you followed me, we probably click this My Site button. Now you can see it still doesn't look quite the same as it did before, but at least we know we're back here. But one of the problems is this starts out with WordPress. So let's just go change the address here. Go back to the main page, add the admin. Okay, and then everything that we do that has to do with blogging will be under this section posts. So we're going to go add new. So this should be kind of a what do you call it, a refresher, because you've already done this once. Now I would have told you in class or in Canvas what the title will be. So I'm just going to make up something here like sharing an image or two, but yours will be much more specific than that. And then you'll have some content that you'll put in here. You'll have some type that you were instructed to insert. So I just put an example here. And then what you do is after the text, go ahead and hit return. And then there's going to be some way of adding a block in here. Right now, it's up at the top left-hand corner. Sometimes the options show up under here, but I found this one, at least right now, to be the friendliest to get to adding an image, which there's so much stuff you can do now, it's kind of buried. So I found scrolling down under media, and then there's image compare. That's not what I want image. So I click on that, and then I get to upload or there's different ways, but you're going to have your image on your computer. So we will choose upload. We'll go to where our image is located on our computer. Navigated to a folder with some experimental images in them, and I'm just going to go ahead and open that, and then I'm going to do this one more time and go to image again and upload another image. Okay, and then let me just get the cursor down here and delete this extra stuff that showed up. Click and drag and then hit delete. Looks like there's just some extra blocks that I accidentally created. And then our next step would be to publish our post. Remember, it's the publish, click it twice. Now this will come up and tell you that the post is ready to view. I like to just open up another tab and put in my URL to check stuff like that. It's not going to be 100% what people see because it'll still give me the ability to edit it because I'm still logged in. But at least I can see the blog up here. So I'll click, go into the blog, and then I see the images that I posted in the blog. And I will give you these images that if you want to use them to experiment around on your own, you can, because it helps you decide what's a good size image to use on posts and on pages. Okay, so you have already done these things, and now we're going to move on and we're going to talk about responding to a blog of a classmate. So what you need from the classmate is their URL. How do you get to their website? You put in the URL of your classmate, and depending on what theme they have, which we'll talk more about in a minute, you may just be able to scroll to the bottom to see the blog, or you may have to actually click on blog. Either way, you will get there, and then you're going to look for the blog that is specific to this class, click on it, go inside of the actual blog post, and then you are going to comment on it. And on this particular theme, you have to scroll down quite a bit here and then make your reply. So you're just going to put your cursor in there, type away your reply. So finish, leaving your message, just make sure everything looks okay. And then you will have to put in an email and a name. You don't have to put in your website, and then you can post your comment. You can choose to click these buttons, which is basically like subscribing to that person's site. We'll click post. And then here WordPress recognized that I'm a user and then asked me to actually log into the site. So no big deal. I just go ahead and put my password in there. Then it takes me back to the person's website, and I can see that my comment is there, but is it really there? It says your comment is awaiting moderation, which we'll talk about in a second. What you want to do right now is do your classmates a favor, respond to their blog by searching for that particular blog on their website, and then they will do the same for you, and you need to make those comments to your blog visible. So that's what we're going to cover right now. I'm going to log into your account, get to the dashboard, and you can see over here where it says comments, you can see a little number shows up that there are some comments awaiting your approval. If you were to look at your website before, and it's not a bad idea, before and after, and you go to that blog, you'll see that there is no comments yet. So we go back to the dashboard, click on comments, and we want to read through them, obviously, make sure no one's trying to put junk on our website. And we're going to say, okay, yep, those look good. So we'll click all of them. You can go to the bulk actions, or you can do it one at a time just by hovering over it and putting approve. But if you've got multiples, just put a click next to it. bulk action. We'll change that to approve, and then we'll click apply. Then we'll go to our website after that finishes, maybe hit the refresh button and see if they show up. And sure enough, there's 3 thoughts now. So again, you go to the whole entire post, and when you get down towards the bottom, you can see there are 3 shares on this post. And you can go through, read them, see who they're from. The thing I'd like to cover here is how to add a caption to an image. So let's just make a brand new blog to satisfy that purpose. So we'll get back to our dashboard. And you see how convenient this is now, having one link here for the dashboard and one to check out the site. It's a nice way to go back and forth as you're making changes and see if they've come through. So by now this will be old hat to you, making a new post. And you can go ahead and practice this as many times as you want, because you can remove old posts. All right, so I gave it a title, added some stuff here, hit the return button, hit the plus, go down to images. I'm going to find my image that I want to put in here. Once that image is in here, all I need to do is just click on it. Let me just make sure it's not a double click. I think it is just a single click. Yeah, and then you'll see write a caption. So I can click down in there, write my caption. Okay, and then I'll just hit return or enter, and then publish. You usually have to hit that publish button twice, and then I'll go into the site and refresh the browser. There it is. Click on it, and you can see that there's a caption on this one where there isn't on the other ones. Now, if your caption's not showing up, it could be that the theme that you have chosen, if you've messed around with themes yet, doesn't support it, so that's not anything to be too alarmed about. Next thing I want to cover is, what if you've made a post and you realize you made an error on it? Or let's say you look at this one and you say, hey, I like captioning the images. Maybe I should do that to my other one. So we'll go here, and just to verify that it is not captioned. Yeah, okay, so let's caption those as our edit. So basically we want to get back to the dashboard. And usually if you mess around over here, you can find a way back to it without having to go back in and type in admin. Okay, so we want to find posts over here, and then go to all posts, and then inside of the post that we want to edit, we can click the little edit button to bring us inside of there. And basically just clicking on it would have done the same thing. But now this allows us to change our topic title. We could fix any typos inside of the content. We can add or delete images. It's just like when we first started. So, and then we could make the change to the other one, or just update it as is for now. As you mess around in here, you'll see other things that you can do. Like, for example, if I click on this smaller image and I go to this little icon right here, change alignment, I could align the image center to the right. And just a reminder, when you're done working for the day, to log out if you are on a public computer, so that no one can mess up your website behind you. And again, you do that, you generally are looking for the icon of you. So let's get out of here. We'll go back to all posts here, and there. That when we get this to show up again, it's usually just a click on that and a click on log out.